Divisibility in mental math, page 119. One whole number is divisible by a second whole number if the remainder is 0 when the first number is divided by the second number. For example, 84 is divisible by 4 since 84 divided by 4 is 21 with no remainder. Now with the divisibility come rules. How do I know if a number is divisible by 2? Now, there are some of the rules that are listed for you starting on page 119. How do you know if a number is divisible by 2? Joe? Okay. Even number. In other words, ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. If any number ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, it's divisible by 2. Number is divisible by 3 if the sum number is divisible by 3 if the sum of the digits is also divisible by 3. Now, give me a 2-digit number. Anyone? Josiah?
27.
27. So when I look at 27 and I want to test its divisibility for 3, chances are you already know it's divisible by 3, but when I add the digits, the 2 plus the 7 equals 9. 9 is divisible by 3, therefore, so is 27. If I were to select one, like 82, I add the digits, 8 plus 2 equals 10. 10 is not divisible by 3. Yes, ma'am? Fine. Well. Are you done? Huh? Are you done, though? Are you done with this? Well, then don't start up side conversations. I'm trying to make sure we pass the next test.
That is so hardcore, but I agree with you so bad. Kids these days, tell me about it. What kid? You want to have a kid? I know that.
Number is divisible by 4 if the last 2 digits are divisible by 4, so is that number. Now, this one oftentimes gets confused because you usually run the test for 4 after you've done the test for 3. When you run the test for 3, you're adding the digits together. Nowhere in this definition for 4 does it say sum. You are not adding digits together. You are looking at the last 2 digits as is. So an example could be 824. There is a way to test if 824 is divisible by 4. And I look at the last 2. The last 2 happen to be 24. Is 24 divisible by 4? Therefore, so is 824. Now, you know your 4s, and you're probably comfortable with your 4s as far as your multiplication tables up to a certain point. So that's why I like to use benchmarks. Benchmarks that you can use in your head mentally when you think of the 4s. Obviously, 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100. So if you had something like, let's say you were testing for 196. It's really easy to look at the 96 and just say no, that it's not divisible by 4. However, use your benchmarks. The 96 is closest to which of these benchmarks? 100. Now, because it's larger than the 96, can you count 4 back? And where does it put you? 96. Therefore, this also would be divisible by 4. The other one that's worth noting is when it ends in double zero. It's not really double zero because you'd say, oh, 0 isn't divisible by 4. If there are 2 zeros, what is it talking about? 100. Is 100 divisible by 4? Then so is this. So don't dismiss the 2 zeros as, well, no, it's not divisible by 4 because 0 isn't. They're referring to 100. Any question on 4? Yes? Five. Ends in 5 or 0. Think of your multiples of 5. You have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and in 5 or 0. 6. If your number is divisible by 2 and 3, then it's also divisible by 6. Not 2 or 3, 2 and 3. Nine is very similar to 3. The sum, S2M, of the digits is divisible by 9. That's enough. The sum of the digits is divisible by 9.
Stop thinking.
And 10 ends in 0.
Jesus.
Ends in 0. Hopefully they come a little bit clearer once we start working with some and trying some. Not necessarily an assignment for you to rush through because of all the mistakes or ones you could leave out. You're more apt to leave some out with this assignment than you are to add some that shouldn't be there. Okay? You've got all your rules written down, yes?
Wait, I need the second, the two.
Even.
We just number 9.
Now let's test 200 or 450. Shh. And we'll run it through our test. You have your rules in front of you. Is 450 divisible by 2? Is it an even number?
Yes.
Yes? It is. It ends in a 0. 3 asks for the sum of the digits. So 4 plus 5 plus 0.
9. Yes.
Now what I do is I put a circle around it. I put it up top because I know I'm going to need it later. Is 9 divisible by 3?
Yes.
Test for 4. And it's 50. It's 50 divisible by 4. How about 5? Ends in a 5 or 0?
Yes.
How about 6? Was it divisible by 2 and 3? How about 9? Is 9 divisible by 9? And does it end in 0 to be divisible by 10?
Yes. Oh, now.
So just in the first one that we looked at, there are multiple examples of what works for divisibility with 450. The only one that didn't work was 4. So you can see quite easily how if you're rushing through this, and there were 6 numbers that we're supposed to use, that if you miss one, the whole thing is going to be wrong. I don't give 6 points for this one. It's either right or it's wrong. Okay? Give it a shot. 57. Okay. Is it even, Maddie? So when you look at your rule for 2, and it says, shush! When you look at your rule for 2 and it says it ends in a 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, does it end in a 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8? Some of the digits. I mean, is this a 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8? What is it? It's a 7. So don't say you don't know. It's right here. Some of the digits. 5 plus 7. 12. Divisible by 3. Divisible by 4. No. 5. No. 6. No. 9. 3 is the only one that works. So sometimes you get a bunch. Sometimes you get 1. Sometimes you'll get none. Yes, sir?
So we only gonna be going up.
Let's watch. Still way too many people that aren't getting it 100%. So all of you need to just kind of focus and pay attention to what's going on up here. Everything doesn't have to be a big joke. So for 2s, is it an even number? And if you don't know what an even number is, you look at the last digit, and if it's 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, then it's even. So is that divisible by 2?
Yes.
It's even. Now be careful, when we add the digits together, we're doing it for 3 and for 9. That's the only ones. So 1 plus 0 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. Now, is 15 divisible by 3?
Yes.
Is 86 divisible by 4? Well, you have to be careful. How do you know? What benchmark did you use? 80? So you went up 4 up from 80, you went 84, and then 88. 86 was not one of them, right? How about 5? Don't look at the 15 and say, well, this ends in a 5, so it must be divisible by 15. No, by 5, no. It's that last digit has to end in a 5 or 0 for 5. Is it divisible by 2 and 3? Then it's also divisible by 6. And then 9, no, it's not. 15 isn't divisible by 9, and it does not end in a 0. So it's 2, 3, and 6. So you only use the sum for 3 and 9. Okay? Only for 3 and 9. Jill, you help me? Is it even? No. What is the sum of the digits? 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. Plus 3, 19. Is that divisible by 3? Is 83 divisible by 4? Not if I start with 80 and I go up 4, I get to 84, but not 83. 5, is this a 5 or 0? No. 6, do I have a 2 and 3 here? How about 9? 19 divisible by 9? And how about 10? No. So, none. Do not put 0. What are you saying? You're saying it's divisible by 0. Nothing is divisible by 0. Okay? So just put none. If none of them work, and that's an option. Sometimes that's an option. You don't have to just put something down because you've run through your tests and you think, well, I got to put a couple down. Not necessarily. Okay? Now, It's 9,000, and then you have nothing in the hundreds place. Nothing. You have a missing number in the tens place, and a 5. I want to make this divisible by 9. So what would I have to do in order to make sure, or to get this number 9,000 something, divisible by 9?
Try all the numbers. Divided by.
What's the rule for 9? The sum of the digits has to be divisible by 9. So what I need to do first of all is find out what I have. 9 plus 5 is 14. So, what number bigger than 14, closest to 14, is divisible by 9? Calvin? 18. So, my missing number has to be what to get 18? So now if you add them up again, 9 and 4 is 13, plus 5 is 18. There it is. So you'll see something like that as well. Sometimes they'll say, what about 3? Let's change this. Keep the number the same. What can I fill in the blank to make it divisible by 3? Again, you still have 14, right? You have 14 right now. Not divisible by 3. Yes. 1 I could put. What else? 1 will give me 15. That's divisible by 3. The 4, that'll give me the 18. Go 3 up from 18, it's 21. 3 up from 4 is 7. So you actually have a few options there if you're talking about being divisible by 3. Okay? 9, there's usually just going to be one that works. 3, you may have a couple of different options. Okay? So I'm going to hand this out to you, but I'll also be available if you have any questions. Okay? Now, what we'll do is I will start the hole puncher, and I'll pass it around, and then you can just kind of get your stack together, and then, I'll start this one here, and I'll start this one over here, and then you'll just kind of pass it down when you're done with it. All right? Do you like to get them in order, like 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, or you like them in reverse, or you just put them on top? Okay? Make sure that everyone gets it so that we say, I didn't get it. This works a lot better if you're quiet, then we don't miss things. Take one pass back. What's your first one? That's the first one. Second one.
No, you don't.
Here. Come on. You probably want to wait till you get all of them, Josiah. One, two, three. You. Just are. So everyone should have 2 pink and 1 blue.
She knew that about heart. She knew that about heart.
Well, he needs to get all his sheets first. No sense in punching one at a time.
What's this?
We can talk if you want to talk. Okay. Listen, please. Take a look at the stack you have in front of you. Take a look at the stack you have in front of you. You should have a 3-1, 3-2. It's a pink sheet. There's one on the floor, so I don't know whose that is. So someone's going to be missing.
No, that's
Someone's missing a 3-3, 3-4. Okay. Okay. Next sheet, a pink one. It's 3-3, 3-4. Make sure you have 3-3, 3-4.
Oh, I got it.
Trinity, you have 3-3, 3-4? Okay. You've got both of yours?
What is that?
Right.
I got 3-4.
Always straight.
3-1, 3-2?
Maybe you
Then there should be a blue one, 3-5, 3-6.
wait.
Another blue one, 3-7, 3-8. A white one, 3-9. And a white one, form A. So 2 pink, 2 blue, 2 white. Okay.
Dang.
Now look at 3-1 for your assignment. For numbers 29, the numbers between 40 and 50 that are divisible by 3 and 5. So here's what you do. Give me the numbers from 40 to 50 that are divisible by 3. Well, you know 39. How about 42, 45, 48? Those all come between 40 and 50. What's divisible by 5? 45. So you're just going to list 45. That's the only one that's shared by both. Okay? So for 30, they'll say numbers between 10 and 20 that are divisible by 2, 3, and 9. Okay? So maybe you want to start down here and say there's only one number that's divisible by 9 in between 10 and 20. Is this 18 also divisible by 3 and 2? Then 18 it is. There's no other possibilities. So if you make a habit of starting with the larger one in each case, you'll save yourself a lot of time. Okay? So 3-1, 1 to 33.